Trade season is here. Do the Celtics have any real options? What about the competition? Is there a game changer out there? Let's explore it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Yup. Beantown, be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Back to back, if I say it, it's stamped. Locked on number 19, the best one, the next one. Juice loose in your pool now for the next run. It's the C's, who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT, Karalis, recap the madness. Every game, every practice. Best daily pod, no cap like Brad Beckett. Clutch like Drew to KP, tap in daily. Primetime dapping D White on the sideline. Raining Jayson, how it started, raising banners, how we finish. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast. Right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, it is your team every day. I'm here for you every Monday through Friday. The podcast is free. It's available everywhere. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can get into the comment section there. Like I said, 5 days a week. Bonus podcasts when they play on the weekends, like this Saturday when they play against the Chicago Bulls in Chicago. I'll have a post-game pod for you there as well. If you're new to the show, welcome aboard. Welcome. Join the everydayers here who are with me Monday through Friday. I'm John Karalis. I've been covering the Celtics team for 20 years almost, and I'm doing it right now. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Doing it right now as a beat writer for Boston Sports Journal, and also the author of Built Different, which celebrates Banner 18. Lots of great pictures. The words are mine. The pictures are not. But you can still get it in time for Christmas if you're like local to the New England East Coast-ish area. The further away you are, where it's, this is the Thursday show. If you're around New England, you can still get it. So you can go to johnkaralis.com, go to the store and order it. It's $30 personalized, signed, delivered to you in the United States here. If you want it in time for Christmas, the closer you live to Boston, the more time you have to get this in time for a late Christmas gift. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. You can make every moment more and start earning a big return on FanDuel, because a new customer, you can place a $5 bet and you'll get started with $150 in bonus bets. If that first $5 bet wins, visit FanDuel.com to get started. We're going to get into trade season today. One quick note before we get into all of this stuff, because, December 15th is when most of the league becomes eligible for a trade. So we'll do that. But the Celtics did practice on Wednesday. Not much came out of practice other than Kristaps Porzingis was out there shooting. And Joe Mazzulla said, yeah, he went through practice. He seems fine. We'll see how he'll respond tomorrow. But not only that, the Celtics put out a video of guys playing pickleball, and it was Derek White and Jayson Tatum against Kristaps Porzingis and I forget who, but it doesn't matter because Kristaps Porzingis was playing pickleball. So it would be an extraordinarily bad look for the team if Kristaps Porzingis was playing pickleball on Wednesday and then the Thursday game came around and they're like, nah, still not ready. That would be a ridiculously bad look. It would be almost as bad as the Charlotte Hornets giving a kid a PS5 and then taking it away from him, which they did this week. Ultimately they apologize and they're going to give the kid the PS5 back and more. So thanks to the outcry for over that. That was ridiculous. But regardless, Kristaps was shooting. He was playing freaking pickleball, and it seems like as long as he responds well to everything, he'll be playing on Thursday. He better play. I'm just gonna say that he better play. I'll leave it at that. Other than that, there's, why am I talking about the Celtics limited trade options here? It's December 19th. Because there's nothing going on with this team right now. There really isn't much with this current stretch. The NBA Cup has really dragged things out. The Celtics needed some time off, but as Joe Mazzulla said, as Al Horford said, like, it was a little too much. This is going to be their third game in like 12 nights. They just played 6 in 9, and now they're going to play 3 in 12. It's just, 100 miles an hour, then stop. And then, after this game Thursday, they're going to start that every other day kind of rhythm of the season that we're used to. So the games are going to start, coming at a regular basis. So that's going to be good. But in the meantime, we're looking at the best team in the NBA, and it's trade season. And just so I want to make sure that everybody understands the Celtics limitations. They are very limited, very, very limited in what they can do. Who are they going to trade? Who are their tradable players? Honestly, they're not trading anybody in the top 8. So your regular starting 5 now with Porzingis in there, plus Horford, Pritchard, and Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser. You're probably not trading Luke Cornett either at this point. So that's and you can't, by the way, trade Luke Cornett because he has a weird restriction. He has basically no trade clause, so he can stick around. And he took less money to sign here, so he's not going anywhere. So we'll just say the top 9 aren't going. What can the Celtics do? You can trade Jaden Springer. He's not playing. They're hoping. I think the Celtics approach right now with Jaden Springer is there are a bunch of little injuries around. There are teams that are looking for maybe some insurance. Maybe the injury isn't happening now, maybe the injury happens later. Maybe teams just need a third team to facilitate a trade, and Springer's $4 million will be a part of that. And so the Celtics, they've already explored the Jaden Springer market, but I think they're just kind of waiting. They're biding their time so they don't have to attach a second round pick. They could probably move him to somebody with cap space right now by attaching a second round pick. And sure, you can do that, but there's no pressing need. Why wait? Why waste that bullet now? If you have him and it doesn't matter, they're not calculating the tax until the season is over. So just wait and see, right? You want to save your tax bill. You want to save on your tax bill by trading away that $4 million. You can save an exponential amount. Maybe they do something else, but regardless, that's the type of move that the Celtics are probably looking at. Springer out, nothing in return, a second round pick in return, a protected second round pick, that never conveys. But no need to do that now. People have asked, can you trade Xavier Tillman for Daniel Tice? Yeah, you can. Why? What is another guy that's not going to play much that, okay, he'll shoot. Daniel Tice will shoot the 3 a little bit, but it's, he's not, I don't know. He's not going to get he's not going to make that much of an impact. But sure, if you want to do it, if Brad Stevens wants to do it, then sure. Why not? It doesn't matter to me. I presented that possibility to Tom Westerholm yesterday. He said, "Oh, I have an idea. I will trade you a quarter and a nickel for 3 dimes." And it's like, that's basically what it is. Like, oh, it's the same thing, just in a different package. So yeah, if you want, they can. Somebody suggested bringing Javonte Green back. Yeah, I mean, if you just want to get all people whose name you recognize, sure, you can get Javonte Green back for I don't know. I don't even know where he is now. You can trade. He probably sign him at the minimum. I don't even know what his situation is. But this is the stuff we're talking about. The Celtics cannot take back more salary. You cannot, if a player is making, this is why the Ben Simmons stuff didn't make any sense. You cannot put, Sam Hauser and Luke Cornett and another guy together. You can't aggregate salaries because they're a second apron team. You're not allowed to do that. It has to be one player out for one, or you can bring back 2 players, but you cannot bring back a $4 million contract goes out. You cannot take back a single penny more than you send out. Very limiting. The Celtics cannot send out any cash. They have draft picks that they can trade, but do you want to? The Celtics are a really good team. I don't see why. There's no game-changing player out there at the amount of money that they can trade that makes any sense for Boston. So tinkering around the edges, saving a little money, that's Boston's trade market. So do not expect anything other than that. What about the competition? What about the Milwaukee Bucks or the Cleveland Cavaliers or whomever, the New York Knicks? Let's look at the competition and let's see if are there any game changers out there that can kind of change what we think about this market. That's all coming up next. Today's show is brought to you by Built. If you're a renter, listen up. This is a total game changer thanks to Built. You can now earn points on rent payments just like you do with groceries and travel. Paying rent now comes with serious perks, and it's completely free to join. You can earn valuable Built points on your rent and everyday spending at no extra cost. Redeem points for flights, hotel stays, even future rent payments. With over 500 airlines and 700,000 hotels in their program, the possibilities are endless. Access unique experiences that are exclusive to Built members. You can use these points for travel. Built makes it so easy to turn rent into rewards. If you're already paying rent, why not make it work for you? I used to pay so much in rent, especially I was living in New York City. Can't imagine the things I missed out by not having Built back then. But you can start earning points on rent you're already paying by going to joinbuilt.com/lockedonnba. That's joinbuilt, B-I-L-T, joinbuilt.com/lockedonnba. Make sure you use our link so they know we sent you. Don't wait. Start earning rewards today. Today's show is also brought to you by Game Time. You can use that Game Time app to build some togetherness this holiday season because you can bring people together at live events so that experience is much better for all of you. It's a great gift. Go to Game Time. Game Time picks, filters out the fluff so you only get the incredible deals on great seats. You don't have to waste time scrolling and searching and it's so annoying. That Game Time picks feature helps you because it's curated so you can save more on sports, comedy, concerts, theater. You toggle the all-in pricing feature on, and it shows you all the costs up front. No surprise fees at checkouts. You'll get a panoramic view in the app so you can see what you're going to see before you buy it. And the lowest price guarantee means you get credited 110% of the difference if you happen to find these tickets somewhere else for less. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. I've used Game Time. My wife has used Game Time to buy Christmas gifts herself. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKED, LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Thank you for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out the Locked On Celtics newsletter every day, Monday through Friday. Free to your inbox. You go to LockedOnDaily.com, LockedOnDaily.com for this free Locked On Celtics newsletter. You get coverage of the Celtics, the NBA, fantasy, links to your favorite Celtics content. It's all out there. Locked On Daily for the free Locked On Celtics newsletter. Can the competition do anything on the trade market? That is a very difficult thing for the competition to do as well. So in a year where the Celtics can't do much, I think the competition is pretty limited too. You look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, they don't have much to trade. You can trade Karis LeVert. You can trade Isaac Okoro. You can trade Dean Wade. I'm using, by the way, Bobby Marks on ESPN put a whole big primer together. I'm using this as a real good guide if you want to go check it out yourself. It is on ESPN. Bobby Marks is as knowledgeable as everybody. So the thing about the Cleveland Cavaliers, they are this close to avoiding the luxury tax, and they're as good as they are now. Can they find a way to dip under the luxury tax? Can you just maybe trade Tristan Thompson to nobody and he's not doing anything? Just trade Tristan Thompson away, and maybe that gets you, enough to get under the luxury tax. So I wouldn't expect the Cavs to make a big move because they do have the ability to make a deal. They do have, but they don't have a lot of draft picks. They have, they owe Utah 2025, 2027, 2029 first round picks. So they have a couple of pick swaps, and that's it. So you look at the game changers out there, the big names. I don't think that the Cavs have what it takes. They can aggregate salaries, but are the aggregate of those salaries enough to pry away a bigger name from one of these other teams? Is it going to be enough? Are there teams out there that want to kind of take what the Cavs have? I don't see the Cavs as players in this market. You can go to the New York Knicks, also in a bad situation trade wise, because they made the Mikal Bridges trade, and so that trade limits what they can do as far as they are hard capped at the first apron, I believe. No, second apron. So they have they're about $580,000 short of the second apron. So they can't take back any more money than they send out. They cannot go over that. It doesn't matter what. You can't even sign minimum contracts. So they are knocking on the door of a hard cap because of the Mikal Bridges trade. So who can they trade? Who can go out? They have Mitchell Robinson, who makes $14 million. Miles McBride, who is $4.7 million. Is that enough? No, I don't think the New York Knicks have any real are real players. They've made their moves. They've made the move for Karl Anthony Towns. They've made the move for Mikal Bridges. They're done. This is going to work or it doesn't. They're better offensively. They have a better offensive rating than the Celtics. They have defensive questions. I don't know if they're going to, do they have anything to go get a Marcus Smart? No, I don't think they could even go get Marcus Smart. And Memphis is pretty good, so I don't think they want to mess with anything. So even if there's a defensive player out there, I don't think the Knicks are out there able to make themselves better. So the Cavs, no. The Knicks, no. The Milwaukee Bucks, they're a second apron team. So they're no. Let's go through what the Milwaukee Bucks have in terms of trade value. Bobby Portis, $12.5 million. That seems to be a prime contract that can move. There's people who are advocating for them to trade Bobby Portis. Brook Lopez, they're not going to trade Brook Lopez, even though at $23 million. Who are you going to get? Who's going to take Brook Lopez at $23 million and give you anything of significance? No, he's not. I don't think he's going to move. Portis will be interesting. Maybe they make a move there, and that there's a potential for Milwaukee to improve if they can move Portis and get a more reliable backup center. Now, I don't know who that would be to, in fact, let's take a look real quick as I do a little research on the fly. Robert Williams makes $12.4 million. So that, I think, Bobby Portis makes 12.5. Yeah. So they could say to Portland, we'll take Robert Williams and take a flyer on Time Lord. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Bobby Portis probably makes Portland worse, and they probably want to be worse. But there's the injury risk of Robert Williams. But hey, look, that's a possibility. I'm going to put Milwaukee as a potentially getting better. Move Portis for Robert Williams, but draft capital don't have a ton. They have a couple of swaps. They have maybe a second round pick. I don't know that that's enough, but hey, there's the potential there. But I don't know that Milwaukee. I don't know what Milwaukee's looking to do. I'll put them in a maybe pile. Who else is there left to get better? The Orlando Magic have the possibility of getting better, but they are not. I don't think they're willing to take on money at this point. They have Mo Wagner. They have Gary Harris that can trade that has trade value. They're probably not going to move anyone else with any significant money. They just signed Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Maybe they trade him. It's $22.8 million. They have a bunch of draft picks. They are below the luxury tax, so they could be a player if they feel like they're close and KCP hasn't quite worked out. Orlando has the potential. So we can say of the top 6 currently, Cleveland, no. New York, no. Milwaukee, maybe. Orlando, Miami, they're looking to trade Jimmy Butler. I think they're going the opposite direction. Nothing strikes fear in me in any of these teams. I look at all of these teams and I say, no one here is in the East. No one here is making a dent in what the Celtics have. Even if they do make some ancillary moves, is Robert Williams putting Milwaukee above the Boston Celtics? I don't think so. Hey, but shout out to Milwaukee. Hey, you got that cup. You went to Vegas and you did the thing. Good for you. Are there any game changers out there? Is just one team that might do something that interesting? We'll talk about that. Game changers next. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Tackle NFL action. Get into the NBA action. Get into whatever action you want at FanDuel. It's America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, you, a new customer, can bet $5. You'll get $150 in bonus bets if you win. So go to FanDuel.com. That FanDuel sportsbook app will give you everything you need to place live bets all in one place. If you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can go check out the stats, the play-by-play, and a whole lot more on the same page where you place your bets. Sign up at FanDuel.com today. Use the tools that they have available so you can set your limits, set your budget, gamble responsibly. Don't go overboard. You know what you are able to lose comfortably. That's your limit. So do that and have some fun at FanDuel.com. And if that first $5 bet hits, then boom, $150 in bonus bets for you. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Go check out Locked On NBA. You got 2 shows there on Locked On NBA now. Locked On NBA Game Night, Monday through Sunday. It's 7 days a week, actually, covering all the games in the NBA. So I do that on Fridays, generally, with Jake Madison of Locked On Pelicans. Not this week, though, because the Celtics play tomorrow night. But generally, I'm there. And then during the week, Monday through Friday, a little debate-style show in Locked On NBA World. So go check that out wherever you get your podcast. Watch a show on YouTube. Are there any game changers out on the market? Jimmy Butler is a good player. He just had a triple-double in a loss to the Detroit Pistons. So he's still a good player. Is he a game changer? If he goes to the Warriors, all of these teams are out west. Is he going to be a game changer out west with a team like the Warriors? I don't know. I don't think Jimmy Butler is going to fit. Personally, Jimmy Butler is good, but I question his ability to fit in somewhere else seamlessly mid-season and not be the number one guy. Is he going to go? Is Jimmy Butler going to go to the Warriors and be like, yeah, man, I'm cool with, Steph Curry, everything running through Steph Curry, and I'm cool with Draymond Green being up in my face. Hey, I'm cool with all of that. I don't think so. I don't know where Jimmy Butler's going to go. I don't know if he's going to go anywhere. Do you want him on the Rockets? I don't want Jimmy Butler around my young team. Sorry. Is he going to the Grizzlies? I have a hard time believing that any big trades are going to happen this year. I don't think teams were ready for what the second apron, what the collective bargaining agreement was going to do to them. They are in a tough spot in Miami, and Butler could be, it just could be over there, but it may also not be, because they might not have a choice. They could be listening to deals and just, there could just be no deals out there for Jimmy Butler. He makes $48.8 million. How are you going to match that salary? Not very easy to match salaries at the $48.8 million range. Who makes $48 million? Here are people who make more than Jimmy Butler, just individually. Kawhi, Paul George, Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, Jaylen Brown, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and Steph Curry. Who among that group is getting traded? Not Bradley Beal. He has a no trade clause, right? So he might go. Does Miami want Bradley Beal? I don't think so. Kevin Durant's not going anywhere. Devin Booker's not going anywhere. None of these guys are going anywhere. So you have to find a team with the ability to aggregate salaries, and that really changes the landscape a lot, because Jimmy Butler's going to have to want to go to one of these teams, and you do not want to say, yeah, we're going to take a flyer on him. He's not going to go to a crappy team. He's not going to go to a team with a lot of cap space. So I don't know that Jimmy Butler is on the move. So there's one potential game changer gone. Zach LaVine is an interesting one, because the Denver Nuggets have been said to have interest in Zach LaVine, and he is making $43 million. I don't know that there's a lot of movement there. I don't know how the Denver Nuggets are going to make that trade happen, but there is some interest. They'd probably have to move Michael Porter Jr. It's 35.9. So they can find a way to get a third team out there. But they can't take back any more money than they send out. So that becomes a real threading of the needle. But if I'm looking anywhere, them trading Michael Porter might be where they go. The only game changer I think that I see is that the Denver situation, because you have Nikola Jokic, who might be having his best season in the NBA, and he's already a 3-time MVP. He might be having his best season in the NBA, and what's it getting them? It's not getting them very much. They are 14-10, 5th in the West. It's still early, but their point differential is only 2.7. They are 7-4 at home. They don't have that same home court advantage. They need somebody to score when Jokic is on the bench. So is there a Western Conference team that can make a move? Denver might be the one. Denver might be the team to watch. Frankly, looking across this trade landscape, even very early on, nothing scares me from the Boston Celtics perspective. Nothing scares me. I don't think any of these guys that move, if the Denver Nuggets get Jimmy Butler somehow. I don't know if they can. Does that scare you? I mean, it makes them better. Does lack of Zach LaVine scare you? It does make them better if they can, they need somebody that can come in and hit some shots. They need somebody who can create, and you put a good player next to Jokic, and that player is going to seem a lot better. Do they go out and get like a Cam Johnson? Do they go out and get Bogdanovich? Do they find somebody with the ability to create their own shots? And is that enough? And does that help offset the loss of Michael Porter? I don't know. But then Denver might be the one team that has the potential to kind of shake things up out west. Still nothing scares me in terms of the Celtics. The Celtics, I think, because of how they're constructed, are the best team in the NBA. Watching OKC's performance against Milwaukee does not inspire any fear in me at all. So I still think that whatever trades are made this trade deadline, and I think it's going to be a quiet trade deadline. I don't think anything's going to make a team leapfrog the Celtics. So even though the Celtics can't do anything of substance this trade deadline, between now and the trade deadline, other than some money kind of maneuvering, I don't think the competition can either. So we're going to see basically the NBA. This is what the NBA is going to be, I think, but we'll see. If you have any ideas, put them in the comment section on the YouTube page. I'd love to hear it. Let me know where you are, what you're thinking, and maybe you caught something that I missed. I would love to see you in the comment section. Subscribe if you're new here. Subscribe wherever you get your audio podcast. Watch the show on YouTube. And I would love it if you shared the podcast and told everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.